It is the top of the hour, and the radiation concerns are not going away. And tonight, leaders with the State Department of Environmental Conservation say neither is their investigation. Good evening, I'm Scott Levin. Mary Alice is off tonight. And today, representatives from the DEC, they returned to Western New York, trying to ease the stress that many homeowners in Niagara County are feeling after being notified radioactive material may be on their properties.
We're continuing to make really great progress in order to understand what's out there and make sure that we're delivering for these communities.
Stem from an aerial radiological survey that covered all of Erie and Niagara counties beginning in 2023. So far, 55 properties in the town of Niagara have been tested, and soil sampling is underway at several homes. And 4 families have temporarily relocated while the agencies continue to test.
You know, we're screening different properties in order to be proactive to understand if something is there. In many instances, there isn't anything there. Where there is something there, it's a very unique circumstance, with respect to where it is, what it is, and what the actual risk exposure is for that resident.
Now, the full survey results still have yet to be released to the public, only adding to the frustrations and the uneasiness among neighbors impacted by the radioactive hotspots. And tonight, there are some new voices being added to the mix, calling for change and much needed answers. 2 Side's Nate Benson joins us in the studio tonight. He has the details. Nate?
At the state and federal level, there are starting to weigh in those lawmakers on an ever-evolving situation of radioactive hotspots being confirmed in Niagara County.
Let me first elaborate a little bit more on something we told you on Monday. Many of the residents in the town of Niagara are calling on Governor Hochul to declare these hotspots as a, quote, state Superfund site.
She needs to declare us a Superfund site.
She can't. That's because New York State environmental law does not list radionuclides like the thorium hotspots being discovered in Niagara County as hazardous waste. You heard me right. For the statutory definition, New York State law does not recognize radioactive material as hazardous waste, meaning it's not eligible for Superfund status.
I actually did not know that, and that is certainly something that I would look to address.
I reached New York State Senator Rob Wart on Zoom Tuesday night, and he says his team is already looking at ways to amend state law to include radionuclides in the Superfund law.
If there's a legislative fix going forward, especially if this is still ongoing when we get to January, which it may be for some people, that is certainly a legislative fix that I would be very interested in not only championing, but trying to get through both the Senate and the Assembly.
EPA Region 2 Administrator Mike Martucci told the media on Tuesday afternoon that the federal agency will be undertaking any cleanup of the new hotspots that have been discovered.
EPA undertakes removal actions like this all across the country at sites with radiological material, much like what we're seeing in some of the homes and certainly in the homes that have been referred to this agency by DEC. So that process is one that this agency has a lot of familiarity with. And is positioned well to undertake.
But when will that happen and how long will it take? That's an open-ended question right now that doesn't have an answer. The only indicator of cleanup that was shared by the EPA is that...
So each one of those cleanups is going to be individualized to the contaminants of concern on an individual property. To be clear, the contamination is not uniform. It is very unique to each and every property, and that's why that sampling is necessary to better understand exactly what material is there.
Right now, the main culprit
is we're seeing thorium at elevated levels.
There's been a lot of conversation about the release of information to the public, or in the eyes of some, the lack thereof. The on-site coordinator for the DEC, Pete Luchenko, told reporters on Tuesday that all the data will eventually be released, but the radiological data from the 2023 aerial survey alone does not tell the whole story. When a hotspot is detected, additional ground testing is needed to confirm the data, which is happening now.
But we want to be able to explain it, though, properly. We don't want people to be worried. We don't want people to be upset. We don't want people to be financially hurt by the process we're doing it. We're here to try to help the people. We're trying to make sure it's, try to take care of something that should have been done a long time ago. This is the process is for us to vet the data properly. It will be released. It just takes us a little time.
But for Congressman Tim Kennedy, he wants the EPA to move as quickly as possible to identify the hotspots and clean them up.
Everyone needs to look at this as a top priority at every level of government, and we're pushing them to make sure that they do.
Now, there are public information sessions this Thursday and next Monday in Niagara Falls for those interested in talking with DEA or EPA officials about the hotspots. We have full details posted right now on our website. On your side, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.
All right, Nate, thank you.